And good evening. I do believe that we are live, and I'm just making my way across to the desk, and you can only just about see me over here. I can hardly see the word for the phone, you know. On the top, well, I'll tell you what, let's move some of these models out of the way so we can have a chit chat. So that's a mini Magnum Reloaded. We'll take an unboxing of that one. We'll also be taking a look at a XUAV mini Talon as well, and the one thing which you could potentially screw up on an XUAV mini Talon. Right, I've got a little bit of I've got some notes here which I'd like to go through first. I've got a collection of mail which has turned up. I've actually been and thinned it out because there was a collection of other stuff which has been and turned up for the kids, and I've got the iPad running here in the background. So if you've got any questions about anything which you see here this evening, please just ask as we go along. So a very good evening, Haggis and Rotomaster, and I can also see that Lauren is in the house as well. So good evening, and James has just been and turned up. You just got my order, yes. Which one, James? In short, as you can see to your right hand side, my left hand side, we've got the live chat going here. So if you've got any questions or comments, please chuck them in as we go along. And remember, if you've got any questions or comments afterwards, underneath this video, in the comments section, please just ask. Right, what have we got here? So, in short, RC Santa has been. Now, I've been away for a couple of days. That's why we didn't have an RC coffee chat on Wednesday. And I've literally got back, and a ton of mail's been here this week, so we're getting through it. And I also want to give you a little spoiler alert, is that I've got another 3 models down here, which we're going to do in a separate. I don't know if I'm going to do them in a triple unboxing, or there's 2 models which are very similar and one which is separate. We might do 2 separate live events for that, so look out for those later this week. Also, just going through my notes, we have a slightly different layout. Look! You can see down there my notepad, so when it comes up to doing some stuff which is more in detail, you will be able to take a look yourself. So look, there you go, you can, I might be bagging you. Welcome to my workshop. This is what it's like. No apologies. This is just the way which I'm wired. Good evening, Peter Proctor, Styrola, as well. Bernie, Peter, and Haggis. I will again, Andrew, Ringo. I will give you shout outs as I see you in the chat and as we go through. And as you can see, I am working to a couple of notes here, and I'm looking over that way because that's where my desk is, and that's what I can see. That's how I can see what you can see, if that makes any sense at all. Before we go any further, we need to do a follow-up. The the S670 Swallow. So those, and look at that! You can see on the camera. How cool is that? You can see that I've got still a load of pins in there. I can take those out. It's been on the radiator for a couple of days, and I've had some time to think about this one. Remember, we always hold our final judgment until we chuck the model in the sky and see how it flies. But the one thing which has really bugged me for the last couple of days is that I really do think that they've been compromised on this wing structure, because this wing was designed so that these winglets will come off, and you'll see underneath here, which you'll see on that camera, hopefully, if I can get my nail underneath it. There you go, you'll be able to see there, it's got some Velcro to take the wings off, and I do think it's a good idea to be able to do detachable wings. But the thing is that this model is, look how small it is, it's diddy. And I really do feel that they've been compromised this model because, and the way which they've been compromised it is because on the battery, because they've been and put a spar, which I hope you can see in there. So underneath there's a spar, literally just a few millimeters, well, about 2, maybe 3 millimeters underneath that foam, and it really has been compromised the model, and I'm not that happy about it. I think having detachable wings on a flying wing is a good idea. I can see the use case for it. But on a model which is already so small, I don't think it's really worth the hassle. Just having a single spar at the back would have been perfectly fine. You may not, there's even a use case, you don't even really need the spar in the front either, up here on the nose, as you can see here. I just don't think you need it. So that bit has really bugged me for the last couple of days. And again, remember, we do hold off final judgment until we get it in the sky. I do like the look of it. There's no 2 ways about it. It's a flying wing. It does look pretty cool. But right now, I do feel that the model has been compromised because of that extra spar in the front and for their desire to have detachable wings. And I've not gone for detachable wings. I've just been and glued them on. I just don't see any point in it because it's such a diddy little model anyway. I'd fit 2 of those in my bag along with all the other models which I normally carry across the flight line. So yeah, a bit of a strange one to say the least. Ringo says, is it possible to leave the front spar out? Yes, it is, Ringo. Totally possible. What you would do is just glue in the little foam pieces, which you can see just there where my finger is. Glue those in and just glue the wings on and not put the spar in. And then, Ringo, what that would then allow you to do is that centre block, which is just there. I do like this extra camera. That working really well, isn't it? And then cut that piece out, and you would then be able to get a 4S battery in there, or a larger battery pack, and not have to compromise or squeeze so much stuff in. So yeah, I do feel at the moment it's a compromised model because of what's the company, Reptile, of what they've tried to achieve. So I think, like I said, I've slept on it many nights now, and I really do feel that they've been in compromised the model by trying to do what they've been trying done, which is to create a model which you can just take off the wings and make it into a smaller package. But the thing is, it's already a very small package. You'd get that in a backpack. You'd get that on your hand luggage. You'd get that easily on your hand luggage, pretty much, on an airplane. So I think they've overdone it on this one. Maybe if they'd done something similar, maybe that should have been the V2 upgrade to the Reptile S800 instead. Maybe that's what they should have done. That gone for the detachable wings, proper detachable wings on the S800 instead. That would have definitely been a V2. So yeah, I wanted to get that little topic out of the way because it has bugged me for the last couple of nights. So yeah, but remember, we always hold off final judgment on any wing or any model until we actually go out and fly it. Because it could be an absolute pig. I've picked up a few points on this one, but the reality is it could all just be forgotten. It could just be an absolute corker on 3S, and every whinge and thought about it just lost a couple of days later, or the moment we chuck it in the sky, you know. So it's as straightforward as that. Let's have a quick look. Any plans for testing the Zod darts? Yes, Stiflet. So again, you can see the chat down that side of the screen. So Stiflet, yes, I've got a Zo HD dart on back order. One thing which you need to be just like 100% aware of. I've got an Orbit wing which I've put in a box because I'm never gonna fly it because it's just not my kind of model, in short. So it's in the giveaway pile over there. And the one thing about the Zo HD dart is that the wing structure is exactly the same as the Orbit FPV flying wing. Now, you may be wondering, well, Matt, what is that difference? What is it? In short, they have created, instead of like a wing being a solid wing, well, there you go, solid wing all the way through and being made out of EPP, and a model like this being uber tough as old boots. Okay, so this one I'm guessing is going to be the same kind of level as the little black wing, which is still down here, and yeah, it's had a bit of abuse, you know. So there you go, you can have a close-up shot of the absolutely mullered black wing, and it's down there in the pile to get prepared. So my point being is that the this one and the black wing, or the S800, they're all made out of EPP. They're all like tough as old boots, you know. The thing is the Orbit wing and also the Zod dart is that they have got like a cut-out structure. It's almost like balsa with there's air pockets, huge air gaps inside the wings, and that reduces the weight. So you're going to end up with a very light model, but on the other hand, you're going to lose like robustness. So you're not going to be able to smash that wing on the desk like you've seen with many models, which I've done here before, is that you're not going to be able to do that. So that is the curiosity. That's my biggest curiosity over the Zo HD darts. Hopefully they bring out maybe a bigger version, or maybe they bring out like the F1 wing, which is up there on the shelf, a solid version, so you got like a hardcore version to it. That would be very good, so that you don't have to worry about ripping a wing off and shredding it into a million pieces. And also, what I think about it, those of you which are thinking about dart, remember with the forward swept wings, so where the wings have come forwards, is that you need very little ailerons and normal elevons. So it will be wild in the sky because because of the forward swept wings. It's just like a mini Drac in short, so very, very similar to that. Very, very little movement in the ailerons, but plenty of elevator. And of course, it won't tip stall on you. Yeah. So sometimes maybe you've flown a wing and it's been a little bit tail heavy. You bring it up onto one side and it'll drop a wing on you. That won't really happen with a forward swept wing because it's not like a tip stall on the tip of the wing. The air's coming forwards to the centre of the fuselage, so it's a lot more predictable. So we've gone way off topic. So yeah, really good question there, Stifler, by the way. Let's have a quick look. Lauren says, can you glue the wings on and remove that? Yes, you can, absolutely. Let's have a look. 4S. Got my yes, all the way. 4S is absolutely brilliant. And Stifler, I do like it because of the mini Drac. I've always said, and I've said for a long period of time now, we need something. This year has been going the micro route, in short. That is definitely been a trend set with many different models. One of my personal favourites, the Nano Talon. We always said that the Mini Talon, if someone ever brought out a mini version, or a Nano or micro version, they'd make an absolute killing. And they brought out the Nano Talon by a different company. I'm there looking at it over there. Corking model. Really, really do like it. So yeah, this year has been like a year of the smaller models. I suspect into 2018 we'll start seeing the same kind of thing as well. The smaller models taking a greater hold out there. So yeah, really, really good question. Anyway, let's get on to our topic. So, Elijah, thank you for joining us. Right, what else have I got on my notes? Yeah, so we had the SWAT follow-up on the S670. One thing to say in its defence, absolutely piss easy build. Took me 20 minutes to get to that stage, and all I need to is put an FPV camera, a transmitter, and a receiver. So the actual build of it was very, very simple, really, really straightforward. And I did go to the extra step of gluing the wings on as well. So, and I'm not a big fan of the motor mount, but I'll save that for a full-blown review of the wing itself. So, again, that may just get completely forgotten the second we chuck it in the sky. And if it's great fun, then it will be forgotten. In short, as I'm sure you'll agree as well. Right, what else I've got on here? Let's have a quick look. Right, again, shameless plug. I've got 3 more models down there to be unboxed, and we have got a giveaway. We've got to do the giveaways this week. So, as many of you know, we topped 5,000 subscribers this week. Sorry, a couple of weeks back. Everything's arrived. Look out for that later this week, and I will be doing a Facebook group only giveaway prior to the live event as well, just to look after those of you which have been in the Facebook group and just joining in with just a general chit chat. And if you don't know what's going on in the Facebook group, you will, in the video description underneath this video, join myself and literally 1,700 more cool pilots like me and you are over in that Facebook group sharing our fun, frolics, and unscheduled landings, in short. So look out for that. Right, I am a little bit worried about trying to get bigger models on this desk, so I am going to go for the smaller stuff first, and I hope this is going to come out on your screen all right for you. So let's get into a couple of these smaller bits first. Now, I've done my best to have a quick nose on these to see what has arrived, and we might get a few surprises as we go. So you'll be able to see these as we go. Now, these should be, before we even open up the box, these should be some miniature or smaller 5.8 gigahertz little antennas. And the reason why I've gone for these is for a couple of the models. Now, a little heads up. So you'll see these are red. Okay. Now, I really do like the common colour scheme which is going on at the moment. So if it's red, it's RP SMA. And if it's blue, it's SMA, which is great. So I normally keep an antenna or two just like floating around in the flight box or in the FPV goggles box. Excuse me, and I'll grab them. And it's because they're color coded, I know, right, that's RPSMA. And hopefully that will come out on there. And you'll see that that one does not have the pin in it. So that's an RPSMA one. And it does come with little antenna covers. to be honest, I'm not really a fan of the covers, to be honest, but yeah, they've come with them, and they're absolutely diddy. I've just put them up on my hand there, so they're much shorter than the normal ones, and again, really well made, decent. Again, the branded Aomway underneath, and to be honest, these have been absolutely fantastic. And yes, I've broken a couple, but it's invariably I've broken a couple when I've hit a tree really, really hard. In fact, I've been through more of these antennas with the quad than what I have with any of the wings. I've literally broken more of these in here. And again, I've gone for the shorter, stubbier versions, is so that I can mount them up on a wing and just for tighter, cleaner builds, in short. So I'm going to put these down to one side behind my back. So a quick look. And of course, Lauren, you are absolutely right. If it's red, it's a faster transmission. Lauren, you just know red is the fastest colour. We had a vote on that a while ago. And absolutely. And Nick, I'm glad that you're enjoying the layout as well. I do kind of like that layout over here, because actually underneath there's my microphone and a pint of squash as well. So we will work our way through these bits as we go. Oh, and Howdy Brad as well, and Howdy Prop Damage too. So again, let's get the pacer. Oh! I've immediately seen in here, and I've gone ooh, because these do mean that I can actually get a project sorted now. You may have noticed the one baby back here behind me not really progressing, and the reason for that is that I've got the ESCs. I've just been waiting on motors, and then I had some of the, were they 1407s? Can't remember now. They're down there in the box. I'll tell you what, I'll have a quick look. Oh, what were they? Bottom off Hobby King. 1808 2400 kV motors. Bought those a while ago. But I also heard that the 1407 motors were also a good choice. And I didn't know whether I was going to... I bought 4 of them because they were cheap. To be honest, they were just cheap. They are some little BR 1407. Now, I think these are 3400 kV. No, 3500 kV. And look how diddy that is. In the size of my hand, they are tiny. Tiny little things. Now, there is some gravity to these, to say the least. I am just going to get the scales out. Make sure that's down there flat a second, because I am curious on that. So, 17 grams. Like I said, there is some gravity to these. And in ounces, 0.6 ounce, whatever that means. Again, so you have to excuse me, I'm a metric guy. So, yeah, 17 grams, not a lot. In short, and I have been and bought 4 of those because frankly they were dirt cheap, so happy days. Now, one thing which I'm going to say is that these were obviously meant for quadcopters, and there is no X bracket provided, so if you are going to be using them on a wing, for example, you'll need to bodge something up to hold the motors on. So 4 of those, happy days. I think there's me saying they were super cheap. I think they were $29 before I used some points on them to get the price down on them. So I don't think that was too bad, to be honest. And what I don't use in that one, I've got another well, I'm already thinking of some conversion projects which I'm working on. They'll be good fun. And it certainly would not be a micro Skymancer with 2 motors on the front at all. Just to give you a hint of a later project. Right, moving on. Stuart, good evening as well. Sean as well. Marco, good evening too. Let's have a quick... Oh, Roddy is in the house as well. Moving on. Right. Get these bags out of the way. And work our way through these. Now, also do note... Stuart says, Matt on YouTube and Antique Railroads on the BBC. Happy days. Brilliant. Right. Also worth pointing out, and I will say this, I'm sure most of you already know this, all of these items were bought out of my own money for my own abuses. Keep that in the back of your mind. None of these were sent to me as freebies for review. All of these literally, and again, this is what reminded me, is that these are for my own abuse. And these are some DYS, and I think I already know what's in that box as well. These are some DYS D28, 26, 2200 kV motors. Literally, I'd ran out of these. Well, I might have burnt a couple out a short time ago. And those of you which have been following on with the Tri-Tech Sumo project, which was gone really well, I'll get a video out this week. on that one, is that I've been waiting for these motors to arrive. Basically, I also ordered some off Hobby King. Now, there's a little story which I'm going to tell you about that in a few moments' time. But these motors are absolutely brilliant, work fine on 3S with a 30 amp ESC 6x4 6x45 prop. Corking little motors, absolutely brilliant. But they will also run 4S, but you will need to use a 40 amp ESC because they pull 37 amps. And I'll put them up there on so you can see them. They will pull 37 amps. On 4S, and after maybe about 30 or so flights, the bearings start to go in them. I do class motors as consumables, if I'm honest, so they weren't very expensive, and they will last me probably not very long, is the honest answer. Which actually brings me, I'll get into this one, which is an order which is, I assume, is coming from the Hobby King EU warehouse. Now, here's a little bit of irony for you. Those DYS motors, which are basically the same as the motors which we should have in here. Now I need to go a bit careful because it looks like they've stuffed an invoice in here. Yeah. Get that out. There we go. Like I said, this is being recorded live, so we leave all fuck-ups in. Hopefully not with my home address on. Anyway, my point being is that I've also been and bought some DYS motors, the D2826. 2200 kV. I've been and bought 4 of those. Now, these came from the Hobby King EU warehouse, and they were ordered one day after Banggood, and they've all turned up at pretty much the same time. So I think I got a bit fluky with those other motors. They just arrived. Sometimes I get really fluke. Sometimes you'll order and it can turn up within only just a couple of days. I think that's just what happened with those other motors, and the reality was these turned up just very quickly as well. So I am now sat on 7 of these motors, and you may be wondering, Matt, what would you do? What do you need 7 of these little motors for? Matt thinks that he might be able to fit 6 motors on the front of a Tech Sumo, so I need 4 more motors for a certain Tech Sumo. And then I didn't think they were going to last very long, so I bought some spares. As you do, as you do. Right, let's have a quick look. Matt, you should buy one crappy plane from Banggood and review it. Elijah, I kid you not. When was the last time we had a bad model? Seriously, when was the last time we had a bad model? What did we have? A couple of days back, we had, what was it, the W9S. That camera, which there's bits still there on my windowsill, and I've got a piece of, well, I got word, and we dispatched it. But on a serious point, we've not really had a bad model here to review in ages. In fact, if you know of a shit model, let me know in the chat right now, and I'll go and buy it, and then we'll do a nice review on it, and we'll set fire to it in the cement mixer, you know? So yeah, serious point, Elijah, we've not really had any bad wings of late at all, to be fair. So yeah, if you know of a bad one, let me know, which obviously I haven't been through yet, and we'll give it a punt. So yes, James 6, yes, absolutely, it's the only way to go. Right, moving on. Oh, hello. Oh, don't need to cut that open. You may have seen, I'll get these up on the camera. Brilliant. There you go. Infinities. What's C rating? These 90C 1500s. I am, so far, again, it's early days. I haven't completely ragged the nuts off the other 2 which I've got here. I've got 2 of the 1300 90C box packs here, of the Infinity ones. And I'm actually, so far, first impressions, they're going really, really well. So yeah, I've been and bought 2 of the 1500 packs as well. They were about the same price, give or take $2 or something like that. But they were out of stock for ages, so when they came into stock, I bought them. So I've been and bought some 1500 packs. I will get these out. I will take them up, get the Velcro on the back, get them dated as well. That's always a big thing for me, so I know how long batteries last. That's why I know Sir Bruce, he hates the A-spec batteries, which ironically Hobby King don't do anymore, and I absolutely love them because I've written dates on mine and I know how much grief I give them. So yeah, Infinity 90C batteries, looking forward to giving those an absolute muller in, because the other ones, first impressions right now is that it looks like they are taking the beating. which I've been giving them. Let's have a quick look. Elijah, so you may have noticed down there, Elijah's put in the WL Toys 939. It's a micro Polecat RC plane. Yeah, of course that's a POS. We've got to set ourselves some kind of standards here. Right, what have we got in this one? Oh, right, totally off topic. The kids are really into their squishes. Well, the kids are really into their squishes because Matt might have, you know, the little mascot, you know, Richard, which we've had here on the channel, is that the kids saw that and thought it was cute. And the missus gave me a terrible shoeing. So this is hopefully my way of getting myself into the good books and buying the kids some squishes, which are non-adult orientated. So I'll put that to one side, and hopefully that will be getting me in the good books with the missus, especially for not the other ones, which is a bit naughty. Hey ho. On a serious point, 6 more Tower Pro MG90S servos. Stick those on the camera. Absolute corking servos. I've been through so many of these servos. I think I've broken 2. One didn't sound right, and one of them didn't sound right, and I chopped the lead off, and then it turned out that the battery was going flat in the servo tester, so I broke what was a good servo. And I've broke, that was the literally out of the packet experiences, and I've broken a couple of these, all been bad experiences where I've just like put my elbow on an Elevon and it's rammed and broken the metal gears. So yeah, really, really good. And remember, those Tower Pro ones, they are cheaper than the cheap Hobby King ones. So work that out. And these got they are proper metal gears in them as well. I've had them apart. So yeah, happy days. Let's have a quick looks. Nick says, looks over shoulders to make sure Mrs. Matt isn't listening. No, fine. We're all good here at the moment. Right, moving on. And we'll get onto those 2 models. Now, I have already been in these bags. Now, I've put links to these stickers in the video description, but if you've got kids, you need to go really fucking careful because some of the language on some of these, in fact, I think there was a pair of nut sacks. In fact, I can think I've already seen it, one of the sticker. Oh no, it's a burger. There is adult genitalia, I think, in one of these. Which was a bit awkward. I had to pre-filter. My youngest daughter was here in the office, and we were there sorting through. Like, she's chosen all the pretty, like a little pretty dog and stuff like that. And I think I put all the adult ones to the bottom because they were pretty bad. So yeah, if you do get these stickers, and just go careful with them. And there's like a million of them in here, but just go careful because there's like really adult orientated ones. You really shouldn't be giving those to your kids. Well, you can give them to your kids, just don't tell your wife or have words with your kids and say that someone else give them. But yeah, a million stickers, and they were $3. And again, I was looking for stuff just to top models up with. A million stickers for about $3, something or other. So I thought that was pretty good going. And yeah, happy days. And again, I will go through them, and I'm not going to go through all of these stickers because there's like 100 in a pack, which is nuts. So 100 for like $3, whatever. The ones you don't like, you can throw in the bin, and you're going to sleep well at night, you know. So I bought a load of stickers just to tie up a couple of models. In short, what else we got? Oh yeah, I bought that because I thought that was well cool. Look at that. Horny little devil. Imagine that being stuck on a white wing, for example. I thought that was pretty cool. And look, I saw that and I thought that was well cool as well. I think that was like $3 or something. It was just like a bit of a joke. So yeah, I thought that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Stick it on a white wing, stick it on a silver wing or a light coloured wing. I thought they were pretty cool. Oh, and I also picked up these as well, which they are some blood splats as well. Which I was thinking would be pretty cool down the leading edge of a wing. Now, the wing which I put it on is down there, but it's right at the bottom of the pile. But if you imagine that on a white wing, on the very leading edge, and you've got blood splats going up the side, I thought that'd be pretty cool. So, yeah, I thought it was right. And it's like a metallic-y colour as well, so that would help with the sunshine. Again, you could put a piece on the top and a bit on the bottom as well to make it even more realistic. That was pretty cool. Again, cheapest chips. I think they were $1 something or other. Oh, these turned up this week as well. I bought these off Banggood. They're not in the video description. They are some 433 antennas. I've bought as a backup to. I've bought 2 because they were just like stupid cheap, and I've bought 2 because I'm going to put one in the transmitter box as a backup. in short, and I'll also try the other one out, or try one of these out, just to see what the range is like as well. So yeah, pick these up, super cheap, and they are made by Immersion RC, so they can't be complete shite, in short. Right, moving on to your chat. Rotomaster says, hey Matt, when are you showing the HD wing videos? I will get round to that as soon as I can. Like, as many of you can guess, I've got a massive backlog of videos to get edited. I assure you the HD wing is not the one which needs to get done first. I've got the orbit wing which I need to do the video of first. I've got like a collection of stuff in backlog. If you want to know the basic summary of the HD wing, which many of you... look, it's down here. I'll get it out. It's in my to-do pile. So that's the HD wing, which many of you will know as the Ready-Made RC Mako, or the Hobby King, whatever it was called, forgotten now. Sky Ray. There you go. Corking molding in short. Massive fuselage. And those of you which have not seen the size of the fuselage, there's the fuselage area, and there's my arm. It's that fucking big. It's huge. Absolutely huge area, to say the least. You may have noticed a 60 amp ESC, which has been popped in there, and a slightly larger motor. That's because it's going out on a ragging this week. So yes, I will get that video out as soon as I can, and in short, it does fly fantastically well. The only thing which I personally don't like about it is the nose cone, is that it did come with not enough magnets, in short, and to get hit CG with the clear one is going to be quite a challenge, in short, without using a very small motor on the back. So that's my only two little minor gripes about the HD wing. Besides that, really straightforward. The only build tip which I can give you is that when you put the wings together, make sure with the main spar you ram it down the end, because the spar is too long for the holes inside the wings. Very minor hole to pick on it, and it flies absolutely great. In short, great. Again, if you bought out of your money, you would be pleased with it. It does fly really, really well. I've only actually flown that one line of sight, and it was great fun. In short, in fact, the bit which you didn't see in the video, or in the video which you'll see, is that later on in that day I stuck a 4S in it, and on a little tiny motor which was slightly overpropped anyway, so completely overpropped on 4S. Completely caned its nuts off, really enjoyed it, got it down and said, oh, I wonder how hot that motor is, and promptly burnt my fingers, where the motor was pretty much glowing hot. So yeah, completely ragged its nuts off and almost burnt the motor off the back. So yeah, Roadmaster, I think you will like it. And howdy Matt, by the way. K5UTC, speaking of 433 megahertz, anyone used it with the Omnibus? No. Is the honest answer. I've not tried it with the Omnibus stuff. I've only gone on with the Eagle Tree Vector so far. And again, just keep an eye. Again, you can see the comments down here on the left-hand side. Michael, welcome aboard, fellow, as well. Let's have a quick look. What was that comment on there from Henry? Anyone know if the jumper transmitter has got great range with FR Sky receivers? Henry, absolutely no idea. One thing which I would say, Henry, is that with the FR Sky kit, do not skimp on receivers. Buy branded FR Sky receivers. I've tried some of the cheaper ones and they were shit. Like, they're still here in the flight box because I've tried one of them and I was really disappointed with it. And look out for a video from me maybe later towards this week, maybe into next week, where we go through all the FR Sky receivers as well. So look out for that. We'll go through all the popular ones and I'll tell you the things which I like about them, some of the things which I don't like, and we'll do like a like for like. Oh, I've already done the work for it. I've got a great big comparison table which I'll be able to show you, so you'll be able to know which receiver you could use in different circumstances. So look out for that in a later video. Let's have a quick look. Styroder says, I'm into Tattoo and Jen's batteries now. A little bit more expensive, but seems good so far. Yeah, you can't generally get, and howdy Jim, by the way. So Styroder, you can't generally get Tattoo batteries here in the UK. And yes, absolutely, they are definitely expensive. And to be frankly honest, I found Hobby King to be really, really good so far. And it was only because I was watching someone else's video on the Infinity batteries, and they said they were, like, for the price, they were really good. So I thought I'd get a couple. I've bought two of the 1300s. I've got two of the 1500s now. I'll try them for a period of time, and we'll see how they do. Because many of you know that I'll just cane its nuts off, land it on 0%, or because the model's fallen out of the sky, and I'll just do that repetitively, like all the bad things which we shouldn't do to batteries. I do like normally. It's just the way it happens. I try and look after them, but we just so happen to land on 0%. You see it every time we go out flying. There's always a photo in the Facebook group, down to 0. Might be flat, this one. You know the kind of drill for it. So, yeah, it's just the way it is. You know, so... Oh, hello. Oopsie daisy. Hands up. I think... somebody, not me, has made a mistake. Did we not see those? I swear blind, I've only bought 2 of those, and I've got a second lot here in front of me. So if someone's made a screw up, and I don't think it's me, I think Banggood have sent me 4 of these batteries. And remember, again, I've absolute clarity, they've bought out my own cash. I think they made a bit of a whoopsie, and they've been sent me 4. So, or I've made a mistake. I'll check later, but I'm pretty sure I know what I buy. So. Right, let's move on. Right, I tell you what, let's move into the next topic. So, how are we doing for time? Right, 35. We've been live for 35 minutes. Now, also while I was away, is that many of you may or may not know the history to this, is that I've got a mini Talon down there, corking model. I won't bore you with the history to it, but I'll keep it like as short as I can. Corking model, 35 quid or less from the Banggood EU warehouse, and I think I paid £29 for this one, and I think I paid only about 29 quid for the other one, which I've got here as well. So I've got 3 of them here at the moment, and this is my replacement form, what was supposed to be my replacement before. So I've got one down there. I didn't like it to begin with, and it took me ages to build, and finally got it flying, and now I absolutely love it. I think it's really grown on me. It's a corking FPV model. You can get 30 plus minutes out of flight time out of it easily. And what I've done in the top right hand corner of the screen, I'll click on the eye icon, there is a link in there to the mini Talon setup or overview for 2017. I'm pretty much using still exactly that same setup. It's just been such a corking setup. There is one thing which I want to note, okay, and I am going to open this box up just to get them out, to show you the offending articles, because if there's one thing which you can pick fault on with a mini Talon, and it is these. Now, I recently saw an unboxing video, and I won't lie to you, it was Sir Andrew Newton, and I did feel Andrew didn't bring these up as a vital point, and that's what I want to bring up with you right now, because there is, in this box, a big letdown, and it's the only one bad thing which I can say about the XUAV kit, and I'll get this on the screen, and hopefully it's in this bag here. Let's have a quick look. I'm not saying anything to that one, Brad, but yeah, it can take a while, to say the least. And I am just looking at you. By the way, you can see the chat which has been going on. I'm trying to catch up in here on the iPad. Right, there it is. I found the offenders. Now, this is the only bad thing which I can say about a mini Talon and the parts which you get in a mini Talon, and it's these, and they're utter shite. Okay, so if you ever order a mini Talon, okay, when these turn up, and I'll put this on my hand, I'll put it on the camera up there. See that? That control horn, okay, is utter shit. Okay, when you get those, throw them away immediately. What I've done in the video description, and I'll see if I can, hopefully, it's underneath the stash here behind me. Apologies for me sticking my back to you a moment. I will check everything else on the floor. Nice one there. Okay, those are rubbish, and the reason why they're utter rubbish is because they don't go all the way through the foam. Now, again, I've thrown one on the floor. And the missus knows that if she ever sees any of these, that I've thrown it on the floor for a very good reason. They are just so bad, okay? They're so bad, and the reason why they're so bad is because they just don't, they're only gripping into one side of the surface, and especially in a model with a V-tail, is having one of these come loose would be extremely, even on a normal model, would be detrimental to the flight characteristics, and yeah, they're just utter crap. So we'll throw those away, and we'll put those back in the bag. And the ones which you want, and I've got them here in a bag so you can see, not those ones, and there's two different types on Banggood, and you want the right set. There you go, that's them. And I've put the right ones in the video description for you, and they come in a little bag like this, and I'll put them up on the camera. So they come in a little bag like that, and I'll get them out, or I've already got a load out, and they are the decent ones with, if I can grab one of the little plates, it says, might be just easier to grab it out of this bag. There we go. And they do come with a little control horn, but I never really used the control horn at all, so I'll put that up on the camera. So they do come with this little control horn thing, but I never use that. But you do get these, okay? And these, as you can see on the camera, are a million times better, because what that then means is that it will then go through the surface, so either your ailerons or your V-tail configuration into the rudders or the elevator, which way you look at it, and you'll put that little piece of plastic on the back. Again, I always use a knife to make the hole. I score along that little piece, that little edge along there, which I hope is coming out on the camera okay. And then I make sure I use CA glue, and then put it in, and then you've got a physical restraint, which then holds that actually into the surface itself. So there's only one bad thing which I can say about the Mini Talon, and that is the control horns. They are utter rubbish, and I'll tell you what, well, yeah, I'll leave it, I know where those are. Yeah, don't use them. They're just a liability in short, especially if you're going to be doing some longer flight times with your Mini Talon, is that just don't use the crap ones. So that's the only bad thing which I can say about a Mini Talon. Absolute corking. There you go, there's an unboxing. Well, that's about as much as an unboxing we're going to do with a Mini Talon, because if you'd like to see an unboxing, I've already done one of those before, and if you'd like to see the full up to, like I've got mine down there, the full overview and setup for mine, because I literally sat there and watched every Mini Talon video out there on everybody else's setups, and I've combined that into mine. Like I said, there's a link in the top right hand corner, click on the eye icon, and you can watch that, and it's all dedicated to the Mini Talon. Right, moving on, that brings us to the last model, which is, in here, is this came out of a chat, I think it was the last live chat which we did, and in here we have we should hopefully have a mini prop Magnum Reloaded Acro. That's what we've got in this box, fingers crossed, in here as well. Again, just pause in a moment just to have a look on there. Crash Copter Good, are you ever going to review the blue 417 Sakura 3D plane you bought almost a year ago? I'm still waiting. So Crash Copter Good, you've obviously missed the 2 or 3 videos which we did when we went through every single RC model which I own. That was one of the ones which was brought up, and it was also raised in the Banggood when I went through every single Banggood RC model a short while ago as well. Again, another live event which we did, and the basic summary was it was flimsy as hell, and I never got around to building it, and I stuffed it in the bin. So yeah, there's your review. It's shit. I just never got around to building it, so because it was just so flimsy, in short. So yeah, hope that helps. Yeah, and we did cover that one a while ago. So yeah, good question, but unfortunately, kind of already covered that. Now I'm going a little bit careful on this one, because it's probably got an invoice in here somewhere. Well, yeah, there it is. Right, let's get this one out. Now, again, just for absolute clarity, this one was bought out of my own money for my own abuses, and we will definitely be an abuser. And this one was bought from Robot Birds, which turns out is BRC Hobbies, and also known as another company as well. I think there was 3 different companies which I found them under, but I've been around for a while, and apparently all good, in short. And I have been in order from them before, so yeah, happy days on that front. The Guinness says, yeah, apparently it was fragile. Turned up pretty good. Oh, there you go. I've gone for the yellow and blue version. Hope that comes out on the camera. There we go, move it around straight. Oh, yeah, that's weird. There you go. that version. We'll take a look in a moment. I've gone for the Magnum Reloaded, the Acro version. Now, the Acro version has ailerons, whereas the normal Magnum Reloaded only has got rudder and elevator, which might be a little bit anaemic for me, to be honest. And I've bought it for flying outside the front of the house. And I've also bought it to stick some FPV on gear and also FPV outside the front of the house as well, to be brutally honest. Now, I'm not expecting this one to be a hard build. If I put that down there so you can see, it's not a complex one. What are we going to do? Stuff 2 wings together. It's not hard. Bit of glue. Piece of piss. Absolute piece of piss. You have to excuse me. Well, I'll be using Yoo-hoo piss on it. So yeah, how do we get in here without absolute miller in the box, in short? So I think I paid whatever it says on the page, €47. Fuck me, that's bright. Sorry, that's one of the downsides of doing stuff live. Sometimes it blurts out. When it says it's blue and yellow, I don't know how bright that is on there, but I can assure you that is brighter in real life. That you could park that at the top of a 80-foot tree and you definitely know that was still up there. That is extremely bright foam. As far as I can see, it's EPP foam, so it's going to be tough as old boots. But I don't think I've seen EPP so brightly coloured at all. And I don't. Oh, I wonder if that's the funny little wheel pieces to go on the bottom. I've not seen a build video for these. It's not going to be that hard. It should all be pretty straightforward, to say the least. I'll tell you one thing. Is obviously there's some cutting which needs to be done. What else do we get in here? Oh, we get a nice little manual. Is that coming up on the screen? Yeah, there you go. It's a nice little kit so far. I am kind of impressed, actually. It's not going to be a huge wingspan. So wingspan 82 centimeters, which is something in inches. Yeah, suggesting a 2S 1000 pack, which is actually what I'm going to be setting this one up for. I've got some 2S 1000 zippy packs over there. I've got 10 of them. I haven't really been using them lately, so that's exactly what I'm going to be using on this model. A KISS kit, keep it stupidly simple. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. This isn't like... In fact, I'd feel embarrassed to make a build video on this because it looks really straightforward. You can tell that... Right, Mini Prop is actually a German company. Where did you get that impression from? Can you see the technical drawing diagram on there? And you wouldn't even need to look in the bottom right corner. It says developed in Germany. To guess that that was a German model just by the amounts of detail which they've gone into on here, because that's just fucking crazy. You don't get that in normal kits, to say the least. There's some instructions which I probably should read, but well, I've just read the bit which I'm personally interested, which is in the CG, which is 75 millimeters from the nose of the wing is the CG. So that was the bit which I was looking for. We do get 2 carbon rods in here, which I assume are going to be push rods for the elevator and rudder. And look, you get decent. I always like when you see kits in there. Oh no, actually, I'll take that back. I don't like them. Yep, I can wholeheartedly tell you that I don't like them, in short. And what am I sat here saying I don't like? I don't like their control horns. Okay, I'll put those up on the screen so you can, up on the camera there. I don't like them. And the reason I don't like them is there's no physical restraint on the opposite side of there to ensure that it doesn't pull out. So not that impressed with those, to be honest. But they, again, if I did use them, I would probably use something like, if I was to use their ones, I'd be really paranoid and use an epoxy to really make sure it stays in there forever. But to be honest, I will use some of those ones which I put a link to earlier. There's a flat piece of carbon in there as well. I presume it's carbon. And I've got no idea what that's for because I probably should read the instructions. But yeah, pretty straightforward kit by the looks of it. I'm sure we could get the bulk of this put together Now we've not really given it much more thought. Again, yeah, you are going to need to cut out some pieces on here. So I'll tell you what, let's see if we can build this one quickly so you can have a quick look. There are 2 feet to go on the bottom. There are an elevator. I assume that is the rudder, which we've got in there as well, and a couple of other bits too. Again, I'll just take a photograph and have a look at it, and I'm guessing that those are the 2 fins either side. So yeah, pretty cute. There is no missing that one on the flight line, and I can tell you there's absolutely no weight to this at all. Absolutely no weight to it at all. This probably weighs about the same as one of those motors which we had earlier. What was it? 17 grams. I would be surprised if we are more than, say, 40 grams. In fact, I'm going to get the scales down here and we'll have a quick look. And I will get to your questions in just a moment. We'll get across to grams. And this is going to be really awkward because I'm not going to be able to see the screen, am I? So I'll tell you what, let me prop these up. Like so, balance that on there. Right, everything, including the instructions, 174 grams, or 158 grams excluding the instructions. Super, super light to say the least. And like I said, I'm expecting it to be a really straightforward, simple build. It's nothing complicated in this one at all. It's 2 servos for the ailerons, elevator, rudder. Keep the servos towards the middle of the model so that we don't need to put too much nose weight on here. Not entirely decided which motor I'm going to put on the nose yet. I do have a couple of different options here. It will probably be a lower KV motor, and again, it will be running on 2S anyway. So yeah, it's not going to be a speed demon, but I didn't buy this one to be a speed demon. I bought this one for frankly just dicking around the front of the house, you know, and for I think whatever it was, 50 quid, whatever. I've been meaning to buy one of these for absolutely ages, and I'm frankly glad that I have been and bought one. So what I'm going to say is that if you do like the look of the mini prop Magnum Reloaded, and they are corky little models, and I genuinely mean that. I've been on about getting one of these for absolutely ages, and I'm really glad that I have been and bought one now. So yeah, if you'd like to see the maiden in this one, if you're any new here, underneath this video where it says Matthew Ogborn, I'm Matt by the way, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon if you want to get notified when the next video is out, which may or may not be the Magnum Reloaded. Right, let's have a quick look at your chat in here. Who mentioned? Drew says, how about a RC blimp with 14 motors? No, but I might be doing a Texumo with 6. Watch this space, to say the least, on that one. Let's have a quick. Brad says $47.95. What's that in US dollars? About $1 billion, Brad. Or go to a website called xe.com, so xrayecho.com, and then do the conversion in there. Gives you the latest updates for James. Oh dear. They'll give you the latest currency conversions. Let's have a look on there. James says, I have one, but not the Acro. It's a POS, which many of you may already know stands for piece of shite. James, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. Maybe it's worth converting it and sticking some ailerons on it. To be honest, James, I'm actually frankly really surprised he got one. I've just literally bought one. I didn't really have that many high expectations for it, to be brutally honest. I've bought it just to potter around out the front and stick some really light FPV gear on it, in short. And with it being that colour, that bright, and honestly, it's ridiculously bright. I think the camera's just trying to give you an idea of how bright that yellow is. You'd stick it up a tree, you'd see it a mile away. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Let's have a quick look. Bernie says, I wouldn't know where to start with a 3D plane. Bernie, if you would like to get started with a 3D plane, go and look up the Hummer 3D, which you can buy from many different places. Probably the easiest one is Hobby King. Corking model, robust as you like, costs about 25 quid. And yeah, just ace all round. And those of you which are maybe saw the Hobby King rundown on all their models, To be brutally honest, I bought the Wargo Yak 55, and to be honest, I really wish I bought myself a Hummer 3D instead. So Bernie, if you are interested in 3D, in 3D flying, Hummer 3D, best value for money, 25 quid, 1000 kV motor in the front, 20 amp, 30 amp ESC, stick whatever you want on the nose, and it's really, really good fun, in short. Drew says, flew my EF Extra today. You still got yours? Yes, I do. She is sat down there. Well, actually, no, she's over there. I haven't flown her for a while, to be honest. I've been mucking around with other models. In fact, I haven't even flown my mini track for a while. So, yeah, it's just getting around to taking a model to the conditions of each time we go out flying, in short. Generally, one model which has been in the flight bag pretty much every single, well, not because it's the flight bag, it's been in my arms when I've been thinking it's the flight line. It's been the mini Talon lately. I really, really have been enjoying the mini Talon. So you'll now understand why I've got a third one here. And if you're wondering, Matt, what you've got 3 and you've only spoken about that one and now the third, what are you doing with the second one? Well, that's my twin motor one, which is being converted to a biplane at the moment. And that one will be out shortly as well. So we'll get that one out and fly it and see how well that goes. Let's have a quick look. James says, what's the big white box behind the desk? You might... so that's actually a radiator. So that's not a big white box. But James, I do have 3 other boxes here, which we will get round to unboxing later this week. 2 of them are very, very similar. And one of them is definitely not as similar as the other ones. So with that said, it is time for me to wrap up. I'm frankly knackered. I've had a busy couple of days to say the least, but I wanted to come back. Like we saw, we did have a shed load of stuff which has been and turned up. Looks like I've got some bonus batteries, to be honest, which is happy days. Let's not tell anybody about those. Right. It is time for us to wrap up. So quickly just going through my notes from the beginning. RC Centre has been here, so this is like a normal week of stuff turning up. I normally get through a couple of models as and when they turn up. This week is, well, last week technically, has been just a busy week as far as models. We were chatting about the little Swallow, or the Reptile Swallow S670, 67 centimetre. 67 centimetre wingspan. This one has bugged me for the last couple of days. Again, I've been out of my office. I think they really have compromised on making it detachable. I don't think a little model like this needs detachable wings. I think it was a waste of time and effort and energy, to be brutally honest. But that said, all will be forgiven or not forgiven, as the case may be, during the maiden, which will be later this week. So yeah, very, very simple build. And it's made out of moulded EPP, so tough as bolt is, again, potentially tougher than this, which is by the looks of it wire cut or CNC cut EPP, because this is moulded and it's got shinier finish to it. So yeah, same material basically, EPP, tough as old boots in both forms. I just think that one might be a little bit tougher because it's been done underneath more compression. Hey ho. Anyway, moving on. What do we have? Look, yeah, so that was the follow-up to the S670. We have seen a right collection of kit here. Whole raft of new motors coming in. Some more D28, 26, 2200 kV motors, corking models. Look out for a video shortly, again, loosely this week, on 3 motor and propeller combinations for both 3S and 4S. They are my go-to motor combos, of which the 2200 kVs are one of my favourites, to say the least. We also had some smaller motors, servos, and some other bits and bobs. I put links to all those things in the video description for you. And again, for absolute clarity, those are affiliate links, so if you use any of them, you will be supporting this channel. We also saw the Mini Talon. Remember that the only bad thing which I can say about the Mini Talon is their control horns are utter shite. There's a link to the proper ones which I showed you earlier. Those are definitely the ones to go for. And as we saw here, even here with the Mini Prop, which was the other model which has turned up this week, is that I really don't like their control horns which they've been provided, which is shocking considering it's a German company. And again, they'll probably be fine, but I like it when you have the surface going all the way through, the control horn going all the way through the actual control surface as well. Again, it's my models and I want that kind of reassurance just because I mainly do stupid shit on my stuff. So yeah, And again, I don't. When was the last time when have you ever heard me complain about control horn coming loose? We don't get it because I use decent control horns. So grab yourself some of those while you're at it. Also, yeah, Brad, absolutely giveaways. Giveaways will be done this week at some point. There will be a dedicated giveaway just in the Facebook group. Shameless plug for the Faceballs group. Underneath this video, click on Show More. At the very, very bottom, there's a link to the Faceballs group. There's literally over 1,700 cool pilots like me and you in that Facebook group. And we just have fun, in short. If you stuff a model, get your phone out, take a photo, and share it with everybody else, because that's exactly what I do every weekend. It happens, you know. Just have fun. And of course, if you've got any questions and stuff, that's the best place to ask, is in the Faceballs group. And on that note, it is time for me to go. I would like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to join me here for this live RC Mail episode. And we had quite a bit in the mail, to say the least. And I'm sure it'll be the same about this time next week as well. So on that note, if you have any questions about anything which you've been in the scene here this evening, please just ask. Remember, all of this stuff was bought out of my own money for my own abuses. Instead of going out and spending my money on beer and ladies, or cider and ladies, I spend it on foam instead. So I do like a bit of foam, to say the least. So hey ho, it's time for me to go. Thank you. And I'll see you again shortly. And we will have an RC coffee chat this week. So happy days. I'll see you shortly. I'm going to go stop over there. Thank you for joining me. I'm off. Have a great evening, great morning. And what's left of the weekend? Cheerios.